Warning, the video you're about to see is a worst case scenario preparation guide. Please pause the video, go to the comments below, and state opposing views.
Hey everyone, Sean Ray here. Just want to give you a quick update. Since the last video, things have changed remarkably fast. I want to make sure in this video give you 3 possible scenarios that I've narrowed down to be the most plausible outcomes over the next 6 months. And at the end of this video, hopefully you'll know exactly what to do and feel more comfortable going forward in your actions. That way you can be best prepared for what is coming down the pipeline. But before we get into that whole topic today, I want to quickly say, my bad. The last video, I gave you the best information that I could possibly give you at the time, but things have changed. Things change every single day. In that video, I have a recording of me talking to the Wells Fargo administrator, and they were saying that with the forbearance, you can do all the 3 months that you're missing during the forbearance period at the end of the loan. That's not necessarily the case. The truth is that loan providers are saying that is a potential option, but they won't be able to know until after the forbearance period is over, based on the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac guidelines, what they're giving them, if that's going to be an option or not, which we currently don't know. So as of right now, make sure if you're going to do the forbearance option to get the no mortgage for 3 months, then make sure to get it in writing, in paper, what exactly you're agreeing to, and know that you're most likely going to have to readjust your mortgage after the 3 months, and then you're going to have to change your rates and potentially your loan terms and everything. So before you do this, don't just take my advice in that last video based on what I knew at the time. Get educated, make the right decision for you. Okay, with that being said, let's get into the video and the topic for today.
Part 1, here we are.
So at the time of the recording of this video, there's currently over 6.6 million people unemployed. There's 310,000 confirmed cases of coronavirus with possibility for significantly more. The housing market has slowed down significantly. Home sales are down and home inventory is down. Loan processors are restricting their guidelines significantly to where they're not even offering jumbo loans on a lot of processors. They're going from 4 months to 2 months for income verifications, which is going to make it very difficult for people that just recently got laid off. Credit scores are having to be much higher than they were before. And on top of that, the idea of the vaccine coming anytime this year is getting slimmer and slimmer by the day. It's most likely going to be the beginning of next year to mid next year. Okay, now let's talk about the different scenarios. These are the 3 scenarios that I decided that are most likely to happen. And they're going to sound really bleak, but wait till the end of this video because I'm going to give you some kind of ideas to put your helmet on and be ready for what's about to happen. We're going to be soldiers that are going to charge through this crazy little war, and we're going to come out on the other side while other people are getting shot. It's kind of dark. Should I re-say that? Okay.
I mean, it's the truth.
Part 2, where we are going.
Scenario 1, if we come to this crisis a little too early and we let people back into the market, say for instance, we are currently on lockdown, we're not going to be out of lockdown until, say for instance, June 1st. So say for instance, we push everyone back into the market. Everyone goes back to work, people start going to the movie theaters again, people start going to sporting events, concerts, whatever it is. We all come out of the woodwork and we're all just, yay! And they're gonna have pent up aggression. All these people are gonna be coming out and just being like, I wanna party, I wanna go to the bar, I wanna get bottle service, just can't wait to start making money again. The economy is gonna get back to normal and everything's gonna be fine and we're all gonna be happy. That is scenario 1. We come out of the woodworks a little too early. If we come too early, then what's going to happen is that the second wave of the virus is going to infect us. And that's not me. I'm saying, scientifically speaking, based on the expert opinions, they said that if we close this thing based on the amount of quarantine levels that we're doing right now, and even the fact that Florida just quarantined itself, is the likelihood is that by the time that we reinitiate people back into the public, then it's going to have a second wave because there's going to be still people that have the incubation period and they're going to reinfect people that are just coming out, and then next thing you know, we all go back to where we were. Now in this case, as soon as we start getting back to everything being normal, then we're going to shut down, and we're going to have to stay shut down until almost October, November, if we're lucky, to make sure that everything is taken care of. We do it right this time. Hopefully we'll do testing, hopefully do quarantines right, we do tracing back to who is encountering to who, and that way we can really kill this thing and nip it in the bud. And if that's the case, then by the time that we come back to everything, then we would now be shut down for most of the year. So that would cause an economic collapse we wouldn't be able to recover from. So in that scenario, we would have significant recession that would be hard to recover from. And this would be coming, the recession will be coming and hitting hard at the end of the year. And then by the time that this reemergence of this coronavirus, it's said to be cyclical. It's going to be a part of us now. So that would be coming again around March. By the time this thing is just now starting to, hopefully we're getting our engines back running again, then this thing will be coming again. We'll have to shut down things again if we don't have the vaccines ready by then, or we're not equally prepared for it. Now, if this is a scenario that actually happens and plays out in our future, which future me, hopefully this didn't happen, but if this is a scenario that actually plays out, then what will happen is that a lot of people won't be able to go back to work in 3 months their forbearance is up. So the government's going to have to push the forbearance out even longer, up to 12 months. But if they don't, then a lot of people are going to end up without being able to pay the mortgage. And then if they don't be able to pay the mortgage, then they're going to have their homes foreclosed, they're going to be taken from them, and they're going to have to go find rentals. But the rentals won't be able to approve them because now they have massive credit debt, they have a massive hit on their credit, and they don't really have any jobs, and they have no way of paying the rent. So then there's going to be massive homelessness and unemployment, and it's just going to cause the entire economy just to be totally upended. And the only way that we can possibly come back from this is if the government just like totally communist, socialist, puts in a ton of money and starts giving out checks to everybody and paying everybody every single month, and then just keeping us afloat until we somehow get GDP growth back to normal, and then starting the economy back at normal. Now, if this is the case, the housing market's gonna be just totally shot, the economy's gonna be shot. This is the worst case scenario. Hopefully we do not do scenario 1. We know for a fact that mortgage processors now are offering only 2 months for income checks, not 4. And so what that's going to do is people that are currently buying homes right now, that are under deals right now, before they close, they're going to be rerun, and they're doing a recheck, and they're not going to qualify. And so a lot of these homes are currently under contracts, they're going to fall out. So the inventory in, let's say for instance, less than 30 days from now. So at the end of April, so we're gonna really get a good feel for how bad this is gonna heavily hit people come May 1st, May 2nd. I would love to do a video then and tell you kind of like, was I right or was I wrong in this video? We'll find out in a month. But based at the beginning of May, then we'll find out exactly how many people didn't qualify for loans that were already qualified for loans because of the reapproval process. What that would do is it's going to put a whole lot more homes in the market. It's going to oversupply the market, which right now there's less homes coming on the market than there historically is. But it's not that big of a deal, and it's not really affecting the home market because there's less buyers touring right now. So we still kind of balanced out. The amount of buyers looking equals the amount of homes being put up. So we aren't really in this process right now where you can be buying like fire sale deals. Like everyone's thinking, like reaching out to me like, hey, I really need to buy it. This is the time. Everyone's running. I need to run the opposite direction and get a really good deal. That's not right now. That's probably going to happen in a month or 2. Let's see what happens with the forbearance stuff that's going on, because within 3 months, by the time June hits, we're really going to be able to see what is going to happen with these forbearance people and how many homes are going to get foreclosed, and all the other people that weren't able to qualify for homes. It's just going to be a crazy oversupply in the market, and people are going to have to drop the prices of homes. But who's going to even qualify for these homes? There's so many questions. Let's get into scenario 2. So what happens if we come out of the woodworks late? So say for instance, instead of we come back into the market in June 1st, like we're expecting right now as of April 4th, what if we actually extend it to August? Now the likelihood is if we extend it to August, most likely that amount of quarantine level will flatten the curve and we will have officially beaten this virus if we do this. But if we do that, that's going to really, really, really rock our economy. That's going to put it in a scenario that we have been almost out. We've almost shut down a majority of America for going on over 6 months at that point, which is crazy. Now, if we do this, then what are we going to do to recover? At that point, people that have homes, that have the forbearance, they couldn't go back to work for 3 months. Now they've been out of their forbearance period. So they have to either extend their forbearance period, which is going to put more stress on the banks, which is going to put more stress on the government to put more money into Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. But then that's going to increase the amount of debt, which is going to increase the amount of money printing, which is going to increase the likelihood of inflation. And now at that point, anybody that has any cash on hand, then that's going to devalue their cash. and it's just going to devalue our American currency around the world. So what do you do in that scenario? That's just going to cause hyperinflation. It's going to cause a major bust of the housing bubble that's going on right now. If you could say there is a bubble. If there wasn't for this virus, there wouldn't be a bubble. But anyways, that's what's going to happen in that scenario. And so if we wait, then it's probably for the best as far as humans go and human life and human toll. And we could possibly recover as an economic nation, but the housing market is going to be rocked. And we as American citizens are going to be rocked. But in that scenario, the economy would have to be restarted by a huge stimulus package by the government, which is going to really screw up our inflation. What if the government just puts a ton of money into this? And now I don't know. And this is, I'm not BSing. Seriously, I don't know this scenario. I assume I kind of know basic economics, but I'm not an economic guy. I'm also not a financial advisor. I just kind of know basic level stuff. And so those of you smarty pantses are watching this video and you follow my channel, comment below what the answer to this is. What happens in an economy that we just go totally socialist and then we just start printing money left and right and we just flood the market with money, trillions and trillions of dollars. We just pump it all into our system to make sure this boat never sinks. I know right now we have a bunch of holes in the boat, but we just say, nope, we're gonna patch all these holes with money. Now, what happens in that scenario? Now, the common person would say, well, hyperinflation, because now you're just flooding the market with extra money, so therefore it devalues the currency of America. But if anybody that's watching this channel knows about economics, the American monetary system can pretty much print money at its own will, because other countries, their financial institutions are based on our backing of our currency. And so if the whole world is kind of depending on our value of our money to base their value of their money, then if we just start printing money, does it hyperinflate our money kind of like it does in Venezuela? No, it doesn't. Venezuela can print money all day and it doesn't, it has a significant effect. Like you devalue your money, but America can technically print money all at once and not devalue it at the same level that other countries could. But I don't know. I'm not an economic professor. I don't know these things. So if you guys know what would happen if we just printed money to get ourselves out of this, is there actually a consequence? Like, I know common sense says yes, but I can't really tell you if there is. So yeah, that might be the best scenario. I'm not sure.
Part 3, how to prepare.
Okay, what to do in scenario number 1. This is what you're gonna do. Say for instance, you're currently under a home deal right now. You're supposed to be closing in a week or 2 or whatever. And you're like, oh man, I'm doing this because I'm doing an Airbnb investment. But I know for a fact, no one's coming to my area for Airbnb right now. They still have lockdowns. I'm not gonna get any tenants. What am I gonna do? Well, first of all, if you push your closing out, I don't care who tells you what, pay whatever you need to pay, extend your closing. Go to at least May 1st. But if you can, try to do June 1st. If you're lucky, you're just got under contract. But if you push, if it's a new contract or new construction, you push to June 1st. If not, at least do May. If you're doing May, that means you don't have to start paying anything until July, if you do May 1st. If you do June, you don't have to pay anything until August. By August, we'll be able to actually have this thing pretty understandable by that point. Hopefully this whole world hasn't collapsed by that point in scenario 1, then we go back into it. Anyways, so hopefully you can push this out as far as possible. If you do this, then make sure that if you're doing Airbnb investing, that you do a credit card for your furniture that has 0%. That way you don't have to pay anything. You just do minimum payments for the next 2 years. Don't buy anything cash right now. Keep your cash on hand because you're gonna need it. Also, on top of that, make sure if you're buying right now, you apply for a small business loan. And so right now, the Small Business Administration is giving you $10,000 if you're a real estate investor to do anything like paying mortgage or paying for furniture or whatever it is. They're giving you this loan that if you use it, based on the information I know as of today, it could change by the next video. But as of right now, the information that I've gathered, comment below if it's incorrect, is that you can use that towards these purchases that are going to get you afloat and keep you going throughout this next period. Hopefully by August, September, we've starting to figure this out and getting everything back to normal, but we shall see. Even if the economy is going to collapse in September, October, November, there's still going to be concerts, there's still going to be sporting events, there's still going to be reasons for people to travel and go to certain things. Even in a bad economy, people still like to be around each other. So hopefully in this scenario, that would still be the case for you. Also, if this is the case and we come too early, then think about this. It's just where my mind's at. I'm not a stock expert, so make sure to check with whoever you know in your network that is way good about stocks, because I'm not that guy. I'm the real estate guy. Don't forget it. But if everything is about to drop right now and everything's dropping over the next couple weeks, month, and then everyone is being told they're going to go back into the market in June and everything is going to be back to normal in June, wouldn't it be a good time to start buying stocks now? Find some stocks that you think are going to do really well when the economy comes back to normal. So buy them now, buy them low, and then in mid-June, late June, when everyone starts feeling this like sense of confidence that the economy is going to be back and everything's going to be fine, then sell it. Because then that's whenever the virus will reemerge. And then once everything starts reemerging, they're gonna we're gonna do another shutdown, and the market's gonna tank, and then you bought it at the low, you sold it for a quick little nudge at high, and then over like a 2 or 3 month period, and then now you have extra cash on hand that you can use in the times that are about to come. If scenario 1 is the case. Remember, if June 1st is a re-administer date, if we start coming out of the woodwork on June 1st, this is what I recommend you guys do. If you haven't bought anything yet, scenario 1, then make sure that you just wait. Now, I'm not saying if you're currently in anything right now that you should back out. There's going to be a lot of people backing out right now. There's going to be a lot of Airbnb properties or rental properties that are being sold right now. The market and the competition is going to just significantly drop. And so you're going to be coming into the market right when it needs certain more inventory. So you can be that person that's going to take over the inventory. I don't think you should run if you're in the middle of a good deal right now. If it's a good deal, stay in your good deal. That's my own opinion. Make your decision for yourself. But if you haven't got yourself into a deal, take the time to really assess your situation. Don't take a gamble. Actually know know every single scenario that could possibly work for you. That's why we're doing this video, and figure out what's best for you. Once you have the data, and you're not going to have the data until we kind of have all the smoke cleared. So you can't really make a decision until June, maybe July. But come June or July, that's when you can just get back into the market, start putting your money in the market and seeing what all homes got foreclosed, who lost their renters, who lost their Airbnb properties, and you can take advantage of that. Hopefully the market doesn't go to crap by that point. Scenario 2, what I want you to do, if we decide to extend past June 1st, and we know this relatively soon, keep your liquidity. I want you to keep all your money that you have right now, and then hold on to that cash, because come June, July, August, maybe even September, what's going to happen is that all those forbearance people, all the checks are going to come due. If they didn't restructure their mortgage, if they didn't take care of everything, because there's a lot of people in our economy that aren't well educated and they're just kind of just going willy-nilly. They don't even have forbearances that they can't handle. They don't even know a forbearance option exists, or if they did forbearance, they didn't actually do the right structuring method, or they might not call them at the end of it. Everything's due. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. You'll be surprised how dumb people in America really are, and you could take advantage of their ignorance because you are informed because you watched this video. But at that point, you're going to have a lot of money on hand, and that's when it's time to invest. If we extend through August with our quarantine, then you pick up other people's mistakes. Their mistakes become your gold mine. And so now you have a bunch of properties on hand that you get a discount, and now you start making money on them. But this is in a hopeful, positive, wonderful, optimistic scenario that after August, September, things start to recover and we get back to normal. I can't guarantee that actually is going to happen. We've never gone through this before other than the Spanish flu. So I can't tell you, this might be the end of America. And if it is, and you invest in homes right as America is collapsing, then that's like you investing in homes right as Roman Empire is collapsing. Who knows? I'm really pessimistic right now, but I'm trying to keep a positive mindset. But if that's you, then take advantage of that timing. Now, if you also are current homeowners and you're going to survive this crisis, you have the money, you've saved, you've done all the right things, you're not having to worry about forbearance, you're just paying your things as it is, and all your rentals are still making money, all your Airbnbs are still making money, who are you? You need to be my friend. But if that is the case, then at this point in August, figure out whenever, talk to your lender, figure out whenever rates get really low, And then once your refinances rates get really low, then you can do a cash out refinance. And then whenever you cash out refinance on all your properties, 1 property, 5 properties, whatever it is, now you have a ton of cash. And then there's gonna be a lot of foreclosures. And at that point, a lot of good deals are gonna be on the market. You're just paying cash, boom, 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 boom. Debt-free, get the homes. Once you get the homes, you get them rocking and rolling. Fix them up if you need to. Probably don't need to because a lot of investors are probably selling their homes because they can't afford it because they over-leverage themselves. Anyways, point is that in that scenario, now you just bought all these homes cash. Then you could put a loan on those homes, refinance those homes, and now you have more cash to keep spinning this wheel over and over and over again and take advantage of this timing that could potentially set you up for the rest of your life forever. So as Warren Buffett said, when everyone turns left, you want to go right. That's not actually what he said, but it's kind of the basic premise. So make sure that you're that person, takes advantage of this timing. As long as the economy of America survives, you will thrive. And lastly, scenario 3, that's scenario 6, scenario 3. And so if we are just saying, screw it, we're gonna stay in hibernation and we're just gonna pay all of our people that live in America $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, whatever it is, stimulus checks until we're out of this, and then we're going to just fund a whole bunch of businesses. We're going to throw loans. We're going to freeze the banks. We're going to say anyone that owns a loan or has any debt, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay it until it's all over. We're going to front the bill for as long as it needs to be. We'll do the right thing and we'll become a super socialistic society. If that's the case, then what do you do in that scenario? Now, if that's the case, here's what is going to most definitely happen, even though I know there's some economic professors that are going to watch this and be like, that's not necessarily exactly what's going to happen. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, it's going to cause hyperinflation in our currency. If that's the case, then the smartest person is the dumbest person. Right now, the person that's going out and buying a bunch of homes at 5% down loans, and people are like, you are crazy to be buying homes right now. Like, this is the worst possible time to be buying homes, whatever. You hear that from all your family and friends, and you're sitting in the background like, I know how economics work, and what I feel is going to happen is that the price of our currency is going to be cut in half. So you have $100,000 in the bank, and then it's basically going to equal $50,000 in about 6 months. I have $100,000 in the bank, and I'm going to buy multiple homes with those $100,000. I'm going to put 5% down on all those homes, and then in 6 months, those $100,000 homes are going to hyperinflate to $200,000. Now, let's see here. Who's the smarter one? I put 5% down. I put $5,000 to buy a $100,000 asset. Within 6 months, my $5,000 just gave me $200,000 on an asset, but the liquidity of it is $100,000 and $105,000 or whatever, because now you can refinance at that $105,000. That's that big gap in between. You need to have 75% down, but the fact is that now you just gained a ton of money in this hyperinflationary period because you did what everyone else thought was insane. I'm not recommending you do this, but if it does sound like the government's just going to be like with money guns, like if I can cut to like a B-roll money guns right now, that'd be super cool. Just like we just do those money guns in our economy, then you will be the smartest person that possibly exists in America. But be super careful with this, because if you bet wrong, you're screwed. Okay, closing thoughts. I would say that the most important thing that you guys need to do going forward is make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment below, of course. But I mean, for real though, let's be serious. If you guys really want to take care of yourself and make sure not to spend a bunch of useless money on things that you don't need, make sure to tighten up right now and only spend money on things that you need to spend money on, like my Patreon link, which I'll have beyond below. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay, no, for real guys, thank you so much for all your help. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, and at 1,000 subscriber, I'm going to have my buddy Sean Rakajic right here. Yes. He's gonna come in, we're gonna do a live Q&A with you guys and go through all the questions that you're dealing with at the time of the video. We're not gonna do an esoteric video. We're gonna have like live comments coming in and we're gonna answer them while it happens. So thank you so much, homie. And also make sure to check out his channel, like if you guys don't know, it's Airbnb Automated. And thank you again so much for all your supporters. I got 2 Patreon subscribers at the moment. Woo! And why would you want a Patreon subscriber? Because all that money goes to funding a research team for me, and potentially we're going to share resources with Sean Rakajich as well. So if you guys fund that, we're going to have a big research team and make sure to go super high in depth on all these kind of topics. That way you have actual nerd details instead of us just kind of knowing what we know and sharing with you guys. We'll have like an expert team giving you that kind of data. So thank you guys so much for all your support, all the views, all subscribers. Love you guys. Thank you for the Patreon subscribers. And yeah, good luck out there. Things are going to be crazy. Oh yeah, see you in the next video. Checkpoint! Like, subscribe.